Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Marone with Westchester Talk Radio. We are once again with our friends at Hightower Westchester. I'm here today with Peter Lang. He's the managing director and partner at Hightower Westchester. And today's topic is choosing a financial advisor. So, good day to you, Peter. And how do we start? Where do we begin?
Thanks, Bob. It's always good to be with you. So this topic might sound a little self-serving, as of course we are financial advisors. So I'm really going to talk about how would someone pick myself and my team as their advisors. I would start, look, we all need help doing certain things. Yes, we can do lots of things by ourselves. Yes, you can go to the internet for help. And financial advice is no different than trying to fix a plumbing leak. But for starters, the first place to start is, as Americans in general, most of us don't really like to talk about money with your friends, right? You don't go out to dinner with your friends and say, hey, how much did you make last year? Let me see your W-2. And if you talk about things, you only really talk about your successes, not your failures, right? You talk about the stock that went up 100%, not the one that went down 90%. And so first off, it's important to understand that as financial advisors, we are not here to judge people. We are here to help people, and we're here to help them achieve their financial goals.
That's a good point. So are there different types of advisors, though?
Yeah, there primarily are two types of advisors. There are what we call brokers who work for the large wirehouse firms, and then there are advisors like ourselves that work for registered investment advisors, also known as RIAs. The big difference is that as an RIA, we operate under a fiduciary guideline, which most importantly means we have a legal obligation to place the interests of our clients ahead of ourselves and ahead of our firms. We don't have conflicts of interest, and what we recommend to clients is in their best interest. We only make money from our clients, from what they pay us in fees. We don't charge commissions. We don't receive rebates from mutual funds. We don't charge client. There are no other hidden fees or hidden things that we're getting from any third parties. We simply charge our clients an asset-based fees on the assets that we manage, and it's generally an all-inclusive cost. And so it's very clear and very transparent. Brokers at the wirehouses don't have to avoid conflicts of interest. And look, I came from a wirehouse. The conflicts are kind of all over the place in how the large firms make money from their clients, and the end clients don't even know it. We can't do that because we're a fiduciary. And we like to think of ourselves as holistic wealth managers.
I love that term. I'd like you to define the holistic. Define holistic for us in this context.
Yes. So again, we want to look at the whole person. We want to look at all of our clients' goals, objectives, their family, their careers, anything that matters to them. We want to know about and understand it in the context of their wealth. I often use this example with clients. I might have two clients that walk in that both are, let's just say, 50-something years old, married. They have two cars, two kids, and a dog at home. They have, they make similar amounts of money. And so on paper, they might look a lot like each other. But the reality is their goals and objectives could be vastly different. And therefore, the advice that we give them, the investments that they end up ultimately making, can also be very different. Because, we want to treat each person as where they are and not cram them into the same type of investment.
How do you map all of that out, though?
One of the things that we do early as we start a relationship with new clients is we start with a comprehensive questionnaire, a financial planning questionnaire, again, that gathers all kinds of information. Again, job information, family information, legal, tax, insurance, spending, income, goals, etc. And we use that to build a picture of our client for ourselves and, of course, for them. And it allows us to build a financial plan for them. And we compare a financial plan to a roadmap in an old term, or in today's terms, a GPS, right? Because it has everything involved in there. And it gives you that map of where you're heading into the future. And then when we build a financial plan for a client, we also build in there what we call what ifs. What if they want to buy a second home? What if, they want to retire early? And we can build in any number of different kind of what if scenarios as we get to know our clients so that they can see what are the financial ramifications of the decisions that they make.
I like this what ifs idea, and I'm sure it plays out well for clients. Where do you get new ones? Where do you get new clients?
So all of our new clients, Bob, all of our new clients come from referrals, right? We're not cold calling or any of that other stuff that people, don't really like to get. They're coming from existing clients, from friends, CPAs, attorneys. And to me personally, the most satisfying referral we get is family members. When the parents refer their kids or their grandchildren to us. I'm really proud of the fact that we have a lot of 2 and 3 generation families, and even a few 4 generation families. That to me is really gratifying. Remember, I'm also a 2nd generation advisor. It was my father that helped start me in the business, and we worked together and still work together for a long time. And I recently had a client who stopped by, and he brought with him his teenage son, who had lots of different questions. He's interested in learning about investing. And so we had a great conversation. A couple of days later, his grandfather called and said, "Hey, did you enjoy meeting my grandson?" Which of course I did. He's a really good kid. And my client, the grandfather, reminded me, he said, "Hey, that makes him the 4th generation of the family that you've dealt with, because I dealt with his in-laws were clients before he became a client." So the fact that we've had, in this particular case, this family as clients as part of our practice for, 40, probably 35 or 40 years is incredibly gratifying. And over the last few years, we've really had a lot more multi-generational families as, as our clients' kids start to come into the age when they start making money and need some financial advice. And the one thing we really pride ourselves on is, okay, mom and dad's advice is one thing. The kids' advice is going to look different, right? Because we want to meet them where they are. We want to provide advice that's catered to them, to the 2nd or the 3rd generation. It's not the same advice that we are given to mom and dad or grandma and grandpa. And yes, when we're dealing with family members, we already know a lot about the people. We know their families, their parents. We've heard about them. They've heard about us. So there's kind of a natural rapport. And it's very comfortable for us to work with them. And so we really enjoy that part that we provide to our clients. And we pride ourselves in providing good advice to all members of the family.
That's an excellent point. How does that help? The process working with families, how does that help them? How does that help you manage their money?
Well, one of the ways it really helps us as our practice and our team has grown is that when we end up working, with multi-generational families, we end up being very much involved in estate and legacy planning. So knowing and understanding the multiple generations of the family, we can try to help everyone maximize what we do for them, maximize the amount of money that's being passed down from one generation to the next generation. It allows us to provide advice looking and understanding the big picture. So not just where the kids or the grandkids might be, but understanding, what future inheritance they might receive. And like any professional, for us, it's about making the end client feel comfortable and have a level of trust with us. I'll use the example, if we're doing work around our house, right? Do we just, go old school and go to the yellow pages, right? I'm really dating myself. I know what yellow pages actually are. Or do we just Google a good plumber? Or do you ask your friend or your neighbor, "Hey, I've got this plumbing issue. You have somebody that you can refer to me to fix it." You're automatically going to feel a whole lot more comfortable when the person knocking at your door was referred, by a friend, a colleague, a family member, and you're immediately really going to trust what that person does. We kind of feel it's the same way for us. You have an instant rapport and trust level based upon where the referral came from. And the last little thought I'll leave here is, if you're looking for a financial advisor, the most important question to ask them, in my opinion, is, are you a fiduciary? And the answer to that is very simple. It's yes or no. It's not maybe, it's yes or no. If they can't answer it with a yes or no, then my suggestion is move on to somebody else who can answer it yes or no.
I can't thank you enough. This makes total sense. And once again, you've made total sense. That is, of course, the voice you hear is Peter Lang. He's the managing director and partner at Hightower Westchester. Thank you so very much. It's always good to be with you.
Thanks, Bob.
HighTower Westchester is a group of investment professionals registered with HighTower Securities, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC, and with HighTower Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor with the SEC. Securities are offered through HighTower Securities, LLC. Advisory services are offered through HighTower Advisors, LLC. This is not an offer to buy or sell securities. No investment process is free of risk, and there is no guarantee that the investment process or the investment opportunities referenced herein will be profitable. Past performance is not indicative of current or future performance and is not a guarantee. The investment opportunities referenced herein may not be suitable for all investors. All data and information referenced herein are from sources believed to be reliable. Any opinions, news, research, analyses, prices, or other information contained in this research is provided as a general market commentary. It does not constitute investment advice. Hightower Westchester and Hightower shall not in any way be liable for claims and make no expressed or implied representations or warranties as to the accuracy or completeness of the data and other information, or for statements or errors contained in or omissions from the obtained data and information referenced herein. The data and information are provided as of the date referenced. Such data and information are subject to change without notice. This podcast was created for informational purposes only. The opinions expressed are solely those of Hightower Westchester and do not represent those of HighTower Advisors, LLC, or any of its affiliates. HighTower Advisors do not provide tax or legal advice. This material was not intended or written to be used or presented to any entity as tax advice or tax information. Tax laws vary based on the client's individual circumstances and can change at any time without notice. Clients are urged to consult their tax or legal advisor before establishing a retirement plan.